All right, next up, let's face it. A couple of people in the news that we want to highlight. First one, Randy Gregory was just released, which is just so terrible because he signed a 5-year, $70 million deal. Production quality was not there, and they said, you know what? We're cutting bait with you, buddy. We're going to give the young guns a shot. And for all you who don't know how the contracts work in football, that's why they're always fighting for that guaranteed salary, because if you don't guarantee it and they cut you, that's it. They stop paying you at that point. So, the contracts are all a little bit different. But yeah, he's...
Stupid question. So is he getting paid still or not?
There's some. He's going to get some money. They're on the hook for some money.
Million.
No, not the $70 million at all. So they cut bait on his butt. Next one, Chase Claypool. Bears fans are having a rough run at this one, 0-4.
So sorry, Bears fans. So
yeah, it wasn't going well for a couple games, and Chase Claypool was supposed to be like, they said he's got the athletic gifts of like the best receivers in the league, but he's a little bit of a whack job. And after the game, they're asking him how things went, this and that. And basically, he just said he was underutilized, and he starts throwing the coaching staff under the bus. So they said, you know what? Why don't you stay away from the team? We're going to try to trade you, and if we don't trade you, we're releasing you. So Claypool is gone from the Bears. Stay away from the building is the notice on him.
Somebody got in trouble for opening up their mouth.
You want to take Von?
Of course. I was just making my comment. Sorry if it took too long for you. No. Yes, Von Miller, we all know he's supposed to come back this week for London, but nothing has been actually official. We just want to bring him back because I love this guy. He's fucking hilarious. On his own podcast, he told us all summer long he will be back for week 1. Team didn't allow that to happen. He said again this week, he said, I will be playing in London. The team hasn't agreed to that yet, so right. We actually don't know if he's going to play this week. I'm not mad if he sits out for this one. I want him back after Jaguars, so... the London game for me, because it's so early, I feel like it's just kind of like a preseason game, even though I know it counts, and that's a silly way to look at it. But if he wants to sit out that one, that's okay. But, poor guy, he really wants to come back. So
I mean, I think either way, the first game he comes back, they're not going to be using him full time,
yes,
right?
Also, so maybe that is a good idea. Put him, sprinkle him in a little bit of the Jaguars. Whatever. I was very sad when he couldn't start the week 1. I am not on that same ship right now with him not coming in this week. But, yeah, if you want to sprinkle him in, get him, accustomed to it, it's good. I can't wait till, though, he's full on. It's going to be scary season in Buffalo when Von Miller's back. So
if they were 1-3, you wouldn't be saying, oh, hold him out. You'd be like, get him in the game,
Of course.
Yeah. So they're looking good. You're feeling like you have the time to wait. He
wasn't there last week, and we squished the fish. I don't know if any of you missed it, but we crushed the fish, and he was out. And I'm not saying, I'm telling you, when he comes back in, it's going to be a whole nother thing. Now, we lost Tre'Davious during that game, which is
tough one.
It's tough. We made it all season without him last year. I just feel for that guy so much more because you could tell he's just defeated. He worked so hard to get into rehab, to come back and play. He played like a couple games at the end of last season and only a couple games, and he's already gone and he's out for the rest of the season. That's just, it's crushing him. You can tell on the inside more than just the injury itself. But Von Miller, hopefully we'll see you this week. If not, next week will be just fine. Looking forward to having you back soon, though.
Well, somebody who's not going to be back for the Raiders is Chandler Jones. He was released. I don't know if anybody's been following this one, but the guy lost his mind.
He got Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, geez, he's on social media talking all kinds of crazy stuff. He's got definitely mental issues. We hope he gets his help. But he was insinuating that Josh McDaniels, the coach of the Raiders, was involved in sex trafficking kids and all that, and he's talking crazy about the owner, and he doesn't want to work. So they cut him. He's out of there. Chandler Jones, go get yourself some help. And maybe it's a good idea, like you said, maybe move out of Vegas. It's not for everybody. It's
not for everybody.
Yeah.
And then lastly, this is just a fun little stupid thing. Talking about the Chiefs versus the Jets. Aaron's on the Pat McAfee show. And he just ends up, blatantly referring to Kelce as, Mr. Pfizer. Because if you haven't seen, Kelce's on a a new COVID commercial trying to advertise to get the stab. Make sure you keep getting them because, you don't want that COVID. And so even though they have a good relationship, it is kind of good. This is the humor I did not know Aaron had until I watched Hard Knocks. Just being like to a friend of his, Mr. Pfizer, because he's all about COVID vaccination and boosting. I think that was pretty good. Just a little funny tidbit of information there.
If you're playing and they call you, Pfizer calls, and they say, hey, we want you to do the ad, right? What's the number? I mean, like, because he makes a lot of money.
I don't know.
What do you think it would be worth?
It's the vaccine that we think. I mean, we're not like a political podcast, but there's questions that it's.
There's definitely questions.
I don't think I would want to be on the back end of that, knowing
Yeah, right.
advertise it. So,
but there's a number though. There's a number.
No. That's the thing.
Well, there's a number for him.
There was a number for him. But I also find him to be kind of toolish. So I'm sure he probably got like $3,000 for that because he's a loser and he would take it.
There you go. I'm sure he got a lot. It's like, hey, you want to film one day and you get $400,000. You're like, it's a Bentley. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, I could buy a gift for
Taylor. Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, he's gonna have to start stepping up the gifts now.